I got into it deep, like really deep, just meditation, visualization, and just realizing how powerful our minds actually are, like how we really do paint our world with our thoughts and our level of self-belief. And so right around 2010, I took myself from being very average-minded to actually believing that I was the shit and believing that I could be the shit and that I could be the GOAT and be the greatest and never lose. And to, like, I took myself to a different place mentally, and a lot of it came from mental practice and meditation and visualization and just seeking knowledge from people who are strong believers, guys like Les Brown and Tony Robbins and guys like that. I just became really obsessed with just learning about the power of the mind. So I used to meditate. Now I just kind of, I have a lot of things that stuck with me, a lot of ways of believing that stuck with me that just subconsciously I know uh, who I am, what I'm capable of, and how I believe, and how powerful my mind actually is.
Because, like I said, growing up, I really didn't feel like a special individual, but the world is definitely showing me that I'm a special person. And it's surprising because I've always viewed myself as average. And so if an average person like me can get his head straight and get in the game of life and play it well and win, then I imagine what some of these other beautiful human beings could do to put their head in the game.
Such a long journey, and so many times you have to show up and be great and dig deep and find things to push you forward. And I mean, staying champ that so long, how do you stay so motivated? Where are you grabbing motivation at today if you are one of the most accomplished, if you are the GOAT, if you are at the top of the food chain?
I try to grab motivation from people outside of my field, because in the MMA space, I've become a member of a lot of people's Mount Everest, right? So in my own space, I try to be inspired by the people who are better than me in categories. For example, more of a humanitarian, or just a better class act, or gives back more, or connects with his fans better. Like there's fighters that do things better than I do. Like guys like Conor McGregor, he's just so good on the mic. So I become inspired by my peers. I'm never jealous of anyone. I'm always inspired by my peers. How can I become closer to him in this category? Mm-hmm. And then in categories where I'm already the leader, I look outside of my profession. I look at military groups, these truly hardworking people who aren't getting the credit that they deserve. I look at Tom Brady and LeBron Jameses and the Michael Phelps and the Michael Jordans I look at the great yourself being one of the leaders, and
I gotta clip that for the rest of my life.
I mean, come on, dude. I mean, I don't think there's ever been a barber that is taking what you're doing. I look at my peers and I try to take from what they're doing right. I'm a big believer in the law of attraction. Facts. You just bring things into existence. You gotta get behind the wheel before it becomes real.
Be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt. Don't be afraid of sacrificing some blood.
God, is there anything that you study so non-related to fighting that helps you become a better fighter? Do you, like, some guys watch sharks attack, they watch animals, they watch soccer, other sports. Like, do you ever grab inspiration outside of the ring that helps you be a better fighter?
The two things that I really enjoy outside of fighting that I feel helps my mentality, I love studying military groups, and I love studying the male lion. The male lion I've watched for many years. I have photos of male lions all throughout my house. They're territorial.
I got a lion tatted on my chest.
They can lounge around and appear almost lazy until it's actually time to work. And they're just the king. I like what they represent. They're not the biggest, but they have the mentality, and they're ferocious. And so I really love the male lion. I've watched hours of lions just like attacking things that's so much bigger than them, and through their persistence and grit, eventually they get that bull to the floor. And so I carry that same mentality. And then military groups, sometimes I get so exhausted training for another training camp, another world title. and I just feel over it. And then I remind myself that there's men and women out there that don't get the fame, don't get the paycheck, don't get the sponsorships, don't get massages in between workouts. They don't get Gatorade and cold, ice cold water. They don't get any of that stuff. And they do what they do for their country with a lot of pride. And so that gives me the strength to fight one more day.
I would say throughout my martial arts career, life lesson that I've learned is the power of the mind, and just how important it is to look at yourself at a high regard and to believe in yourself. I think in order to paint a bright future for yourself, you have to be able to see it in your mind. You have to believe in it, and the more you believe in it, the more your world will start to change, and the more you'll just start to see your beliefs come to pass. So, to answer your question, just self-belief. The biggest lesson I've learned as a father of 4 beautiful daughters is, I want to also say believe. I teach my daughters all the time just to believe in themselves wholeheartedly. And, right now their self-esteem and their confidence is sky high. And it's something that I think is taught, to believe in yourself. And it's something that I preach to them all the time. I tell them how beautiful and smart they are and how amazing they are. And I always assure them that they're bound and destined to do something great in this world. And right now my daughters feel extremely special. They feel as if they're unique, and I pray that they carry that attitude along with them, and hopefully it'll come to pass.
A lot of people were surprised when they found out that you've been signing your name as Champ 2011. How did that come about?
I believe in the law of attraction, and I believe that you can speak things into existence. And I believe that when you know where you're going and you know what you want, the universe has a way of stepping aside for you. And me signing my signature with Champion 2011 on it can't hurt me. It can't hurt me. It could only help me to believe it even more. So yeah. I mean, it works for me.
You've been saying something that I find to be very interesting, that the butterflies in your stomach are in formation. I've never heard that before. I think it makes a lot of sense. What do you mean by that? Elaborate.
What I mean by it? Okay, so the butterflies in formation, basically it means when you have butterflies and you're feeling anxious and you have anxiety or nervous, that's when you're most powerful, I believe. And either you can, you're most powerful. So a lot of people, instead of homing this power, and using it, they allow it to just consume them. There's another quote that says, a big challenge or big pressure is like a fire. It's like a raging fire. Either you can allow this fire to consume you and just take you over completely, or you can gain control of this fire and harness it, and you blow it right at your opponent like Dragon Ball Z style. All right, so that's what I'm trying to do. I try to get my emotions under control and use this adrenaline to my advantage.
And so, long story short, a lot of things weren't happening well in my life. Fresh out of college, I dropped out. I had a baby on the way, and I felt like my life was going downhill real quick. And I just decided to save myself by dreaming bigger and reaching for some stars. And so I walked into an MMA school with the mindset of being the best in the world. And having a baby on the way, I had a mindset of like, I can't fail. I got one option, and that's to be a very successful MMA fighter, or else it's being a janitor or doing something.
But this mindset of like, I've heard you talk about teaching yourself self-belief.
Yeah.
Was it not something you were born with, but it was something that you had to change your mind of thinking that you could do anything?
Yeah, it was something that I had to teach myself. Right around age 19 years old, I just found myself just in a bad spot in life, and I joined the MMA school, and I found some talent in it, and I knew that I didn't want to just be an MMA fighter. I knew that I wanted to be the best in the world, but I wasn't the most confident young man. And so I hopped on YouTube, and I hopped on things like TED Talks, and I would just look up everything about being a person of faith, confidence, even things about charisma. I would just study everything that I wasn't. And I put in hours and hours and hours, and I took lots of notes, and I just watched my world slowly start to change. my demeanor and my confidence level and the things that I expected for myself, things that I genuinely believed that I could be and I could do, it started to happen. And year after year, my world started to become better and better.
Three things that has helped me get to the point that I am now, and something that you can take with you, is study. You know, a lot of athletics is not just a physical thing. You know, I try to study my competition. I try to study nutrition. I try to study other great athletes, guys who've done great things in the past, and try to model, you know, myself after them. So I'm big on the mental game when it comes to being an athlete, sports psychology and things like that. So really focusing on the mind, not only the body, is important. I think nutrition is extremely important. I take a lot of protein down. I stay hydrated constantly, and I'm very aware of what I'm putting in my body. I think what you put in is what you get out, and it took me a long time to realize that. But you know, since I've taken nutrition a lot more serious, I see much greater results in my training, my mental attitude, my alertness, everything. I mean, it's a direct relationship, and rest. Lots of rest. You know, getting to bed early, feeling good the next day when you wake up, to get the most out of your day.
I admire the way that you were able to adapt so many times, and I think your fight IQ separates you from everybody. The way that you're able to adapt. Was there ever a time that you've prepared for a fighter, that you've studied, gotten into the ring with, and everything you studied was out the window?
Oh, everything I studied was out the window?
Has it ever just gone left? Have you ever just had the game plan, got in there, and it just...
I fought against Alexander Gustafsson the first time, and at the time he was getting so much he was getting so much hype around him, and I looked at Alexander as being quite frankly, a white version of me. Mm-hmm. He was tall, he had a swagger, he had this great footwork, he had great boxing, and that fight, I partied a lot leading into that fight, but I had this knowing that I was gonna win, and it was at an all-time high. And in that fight, things did not go the way I expected. I mean, I couldn't stop his jab. I hadn't prepared for a low jab. He was jabbing me to the stomach. I had never prepared for that. He was a lot more confident than I expected him to be. He was in my face, and he was a person who was expecting to win. And I had to pull from something that I didn't realize that I had. I had a tenacity and a resilience and a grit that I didn't realize that I had. It was the first time that I seen my mother crying over my bed backstage. They put me on morphine, and the morphine was making me shake profusely, and my lips were swollen. I couldn't talk, I couldn't eat, couldn't use the bathroom on my own. And that was one of the fights where I had really realized how seriously I had to take each and every opponent, that I could never get too big for my bridges, because there's always somebody that's nipping at our toes, you know. So that fight taught me a lot about the seriousness of preparation.
Deep down, did that guy think you would be that successful? The success that you've had, you know, people call you the GOAT, people call you, you know, one of the greatest ever, you're still at the top of your game, you're cleaning out the division, all that stuff. Deep down in your heart, did you think it would turn out like this, or are you even surprised by how good of a fighter you've become?
Deep down inside, I did feel that I would be in the situation I'm in now, and I'm excited to see me 10 years from now. You know, I believe I'll still be on top of the sport. Yeah, I've always had a very strong conviction that I could be the greatest ever, and sure enough, it's just years of belief and hard work. We're here.
Yeah, and you know, as you said, you know, you've learned a lot. There have been ups and there have been downs, but it seems like as of late, there's been, you know, a fairly consistent trend up, right? Not a lot of drama, just focus. You were very active last year, fought 3 times in the span of what, like 6-7 months. Do you feel like all that stuff is behind you? Do you feel like the storm is behind you?
I do feel like the storm's behind me. It has been an interesting journey, and I've learned so much, and I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to have had all the lessons that I've been able to learn. I'm grateful that God has kept me through all of it. And just allowed me to grow so much through it all. And And yeah, I think my best days are definitely still ahead of me. I feel like I'm just now really getting into a nice groove of what it means to be a father and a professional athlete and a person with great responsibility. And I'm excited about this, and I feel like I'm stepping into it well.
Everybody studies your film.
Yeah.
You are the #1 target.
Yes.
Everybody's looking at you under a microscope.
Yep. Yep.
So how are you staying so fresh? How are you staying so ahead?
I really credit God for a lot of it. I look at other athletes who are withstanding the test of time, guys like LeBron, guys that just continues to keep going. I know that with modern day supplements and nutrition, recovery protocols and things like that, that is all just very possible to continue. I have this attitude. I had a coach that says, John, do it because you can. Because you can. You're the guy to do it. Who else to do it, right?
Yeah.
So I've always had that attitude. It's like winning one more championship. Who else is going to do it? You know what I mean? Like striving for this level of breaking records or greatness in our sport. Who else is going to do it? You know? So I feel like as you become ahead of the pack, it's now our mission to be the first. Be the first to take this sport to a whole new stratosphere.
Wow.
And I kind of have that. I have that feeling now. But instead of being just a champion fighter, now my approach is be one of the leaders in business. You know, we have guys like Conor McGregor, who's clearly on a different atmosphere when it comes to business as a fighter. But to be the greatest MMA fighter who will transition into being a brilliant businessman, that would be a first. Because Conor was a great fighter, but to be the best fighter and to be an extraordinary businessman, I want to show these young fighters that you can get after it all.
Yeah.
How did you get on track? How did you, was there a moment, was there a conversation, was there an epiphany that allowed you to try to, stay on this positive track?
I just feel like I was maybe at a place where I felt like I was throwing a lot of greatness away, and I believe that talent and when you have opportunity, it's a terrible thing to waste. So I just felt, I feel like these days I just take more accountability for my actions and for my my emotions and my circle and behaviors and things like that. And I think that's been the major difference. Just more accountability.
Does life after fighting scare you?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I've had a very controversial career, and I've taken lots of breaks throughout my UFC career. Like to go from light heavyweight to heavyweight, I took off a solid 3 years. I just vacated my belt. No one asked me to do it, prompted me to do it. I just decided to do it. And so I have had a healthy amount of time being Jon Bones Jones in my adult life, but I also have had a healthy amount of time just being Jonathan, without the belt, without the fame, without the glitz. Even living in a community like this helps ground me and keeps me humble. So no, I'm not afraid of me.
No, do you ever, like I imagine, even for my dad, I wonder sometimes, you did 28 years in the Army and you're not in the Army no more. And my question and my quote before, don't let what you're good at define who you are, but who are you if you can't do what you're good at? So who is Jon Jones without MMA?
So Jon Jones without MMA is Jonathan.
There's that famous photo from 2011 Toronto with all the champions up there. You know the one, right, where they had the press conference. It was you and Anderson and GSP and Dominic Cruz,
yes.
And you're the only one. It's amazing.
Still
9
here.
years, right?
Still here, man.
And it's amazing. Like if nothing crazy happened in your life, just to be champion for 9 years is absurd, right? In the fight game, that's just a crazy thing. And then when you consider everything that you've been through and that you're still here and still on the top of your game, are there times where you sit back, you're at your home in bed at night thinking like, man, I'm a lucky guy because some crazy stuff has happened. I'm still here. I haven't lost. I haven't gotten knocked out. I haven't gotten clipped. You could get clipped. Anyone could get clipped.
Yeah,
Do you have moments where you're like, man, how did this happen? Like, how have I been able to stay on top for this long? Do you have moments where you talk to yourself like that?
I do, and I always just point it back to God, man. Honestly, man, it's God's grace, and I know everyone's not a believer, and a lot of people think, I wish you just wouldn't talk about God, but it really is God's grace. It really is, man. He has sustained me through so much, through the death of my mother, facing a 4-year suspension, through just my dumb mistakes. Um, he's probably protected me in ways that I don't even know he has. But really, I just pointed to God's grace, man. You know, I wear this tattoo on my chest, Philippians 4:13, that I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. And I genuinely believe that I can do anything. And I'm not surprised that I'm still here. And I believe that I could possibly be here a decade from now.